Welcome everyone to the Sports Giant Network, and today in this video, I'm previewing UFC 317 as I adjust the camera here. Here we go. As in this video, I'm previewing this upcoming pay-per-view from New Jersey. The pay-per-view is taking place, I believe, in East Rutherford or Newark. It's where the New Jersey Devils play, where the Nets used to play before they moved to Brooklyn. And this card, we have a men's bantamweight title fight and a women's bantamweight title fight. And as Merab Dvalishvili is looking to defend his belt against Sean O'Malley in the rematch, and Julia Payne in the co-main event is looking to defend her belt against Kayla Harrison. As we'll go from there, as this main card also has Vicente, Luque, and Kevin Holland. Patchy Mix making his UFC debut against Mario Bautista, and then of course Joe Pyfer and Calvin Gastelum, which should not be on the main card of this pay per view. I don't get it. There's no reason for that. It makes no sense. None of them are ranked. It's not. I mean, it's a fight bigger now than it was when they were first matched up for a couple months ago before Pyfer got sick and pulled out. Yeah, but still, it's not. It's not pay per view worthy. In terms of being on a pay per view main card, it's not. I don't get it. You have an important heavyweight fight on the prelims between number 7 ranked, Sergey Spivak taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta and the prelims, which makes that should be on the main card because that's an important fight heavyweight division. Either get a new top 10 guy or Spivak defends his spot and he can fight someone above him now. As Spivak's pretty good, as Spivak is a good fighter for the most part, especially grappling. I mean, he got top position in Jose Almeida, who's a grappler in that division, was able to. I think he took out Almeida, Spivak. But he did get top position. He was having decent success in that department. And excuse me, my throat. Sorry. Waldo Cortez Acosta has looked really good. I mean, he's athletic. He's got some good knockouts. He's got some decision victories, but also some knockouts. He's, I believe, 13-1. I think that's his record. Cortez Acosta. Yeah, 13-1. Six knockouts, and he's had some decision victories, but not knockouts, and he's good. This fight, especially since the heavyweight division has been put on ice because a certain duck named John Jones doesn't want to defend his heavyweight belt against Tom Aspinall, which is screwing up the entire heavyweight division, not just Aspinall, but even Volkov came out and said how he hasn't been able to get a fight because he doesn't know what's going on. That weren't for this situation, he probably would have fought for the belt already. Yeah, this whole ordeal going on. So the whole John Jones situation is not just affecting Tom Aspinall's career, it's affecting all these other heavyweights in their careers. So this is an important fight for the division to where we can get fresh blood or someone retain their spot, and then we go from there. And it should be on the main card of pay per view over freaking Joe Pyfer and Calvin Gastelum. I mean, come on, really? And by the way, now Spivak and Cortez Acosta. I'm picking that's I can see Spivak beating him, but I think Acosta because I think one thing about Spivak is sometimes that you hit this if you he doesn't do well in terms of like you taking damage. In terms of I'm granted it's heavyweight, so everyone hits hard in heavyweight compared to all other weight classes, but still, when he gets hit, sometimes he tends to like fold at times. And like I mentioned, Costa's got good power, and I think if he catches him, he can hurt him bad. I think he has the ability to really be able to finish him, especially since Spivak at times doesn't take damage very well. But I'm going Costa, but I can totally see Spivak beating him. I just want to preview that fight. Also, Joshua Van against Bruno Silva is on this card. As the main event, the prelims. That's another fight that should be on the paying card of pay per view. Considering Joshua Van is like the new rising contender in the flyweight division that everyone loves, including myself, because the guy stays active and he's pretty good. This is, I think, his third fight this year, I believe. All right, third fight. Yeah, it might be his third fight this year or third fight in the last 6 months, something like that. The guy's active. As my dog barks, I don't know why. Sorry, I don't know why. Give me one moment. I think he wants to come in my room. Hang on. Sorry about that, but what was I? Oh yeah, Joshua Vin and Bruno Silva. Man, that's a good fight. That should be on the main card of the pay per view over Pyfer and Gastelum. But I'm gonna go Josh Van, but I can see Silva beating him just because. So I know Van's active and it helps, but hopefully he's not overtrained. Hopefully he's not being. Now, granted, some of these fights he's winning convincingly, so he's not taking a lot of damage, but still. And Bruno Silva was a really good fighter. I know his last fight he got beat up, but that was by Manel Cap, who looks like in a different zone. I mean, that Manel Cap, if that cat that fought Bruno Silva shows up all his fights, he's gonna be a long time champion in his flyweight division. But Bruno Silva did have his moments against Manel Cap that weren't, I know people remember he had a couple. I think he had like a low blow in Manel Cap, but there were moments where he actually landed success against Manel Cap in his last fight, Bruno Silva. And also, Bruno Silva's a good fighter. He's had some good victories in that fight division. He's ranked also. So, listen, Silva could beat Joshua Van. It is possible. But I think Van will win. But like I said, it's like 55-40. I'm leaning like 60-40 towards Van. And it's like 50-45 towards Acosta with his fight with Spivak in the prelims. But we'll go from there to the first fight in the main card. Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque. Normally, I can't trust Kevin Holland in these fights because I don't know what Kevin Holland's going to show up. The guy who, because Holland's talented, but it's just it's up here that just bothers me with him. Like, he just doesn't try. It's almost like he's just okay with just showing up and just getting a paycheck at times. It's like I can't trust Holland because there's been times where I think Holland should win or do better and he doesn't, and then disappoints me. I know his last fight he looked good against Gunnar Nelson and that's success, but Gunnar Nelson's Gunnar Nelson. Yeah, I mean Luque is a step up in competition from Gunnar Nelson. Now the thing is with this fight with Luque is that ever since Luque got knocked out by Jeff Neal and had a brain issue, he hasn't been the same fighter. Been a lot gun shy. He looked bad against Joaquin Buckley. He got the victory against RDA prior to the Buckley loss. Was it prior to the Buckley? No, the RDA fight was before the Buckley loss and won by grappling. He'd be able to take down, hold him down, using his size against RDA. But it's his older RDA. Then the Buckley fight. Then he beat Durambo Grambo. Beats in, has a nice darts chug, which he's known for, and was able to bounce back. So the thing, you know what? I'm picking Holland to win. Normally I would pick Luque, but the thing with Holland is that Holland has a good reach for his welterweight, and Holland in welterweight is much better than middleweight Holland. But there have been times in welterweight where he looks but he's way better welterweight than he is in middleweight. Doesn't worry about the strength advantage that middleweights will have over him. So even if he does get grappling exchange, he's going to survive it. He did decent against Gunnar Nelson in the grappling. Guys don't have that strength advantage over him in the grappling welterweight, so he's able to get up. And I think he'll be able to get up from those positions and get out of those positions. And Kevin Holland has a great, like I said, reach advantage compared to most welterweights. And with Luque likes to, does a lot of damage when he's able to infight and get close up his opponents, or his opponents, come towards him and they're, inside range or inside the pocket, if that makes sense. Holland has the ability to hurt guys at range and he has very good power in his hands. And he's able at times to use his range. I think he'll be use that to keep Luque at bay, prevent Luque from getting big moments against him, and be able to. And he might even stun. He'll stun Luque a few times. I don't know if he'll drop him, but I think he'll pick apart Luque and beat him up and win by decision. Personally, like a 29-28, 30-27 decision. Although I can't rule out him dropping and finishing Luque, it's possible. But I think Luque will. I think Luque will somehow survive, but I could totally see him getting knocked out. It kind of sounds weird because Holland has knockout power, so. But I think Luque's smart enough to know to not like just rush him so much, where Holland can catch him to counter and drop him. But you know what? I think decision, but I can see like a third round stoppage from Holland where he drops him badly and finishes him after hitting him a lot during the fight. That is possible. Although one thing Luque can do that's success, maybe that can work is leg kicks. Kevin Holland has like skinny legs, if I remember, and Luque does throw leg kicks. Like I remember the second Bilal fight, the one round he won is when he drew a bunch of leg kicks to stop Bilal's movement and was able to actually do well in that third round by using leg kicks. And I feel like Holland, the way his legs frame up is, I feel like he should throw leg kicks in his fights, especially early on, to like so that way keep him off balance, Holland off balance, and maybe he can go inside easier and catch him and hurt Holland. Holland's a good chin, to be fair. Like Joaquin Buckley was hitting him shots, and he was just laughing at Joaquin Buckley's face. And this is Joaquin Buckley we're talking about, who had knockout power 185 and 172. And but Luque hits hard. Luque is good. He does hit hard though. So even if he doesn't like drop Holland, still he can land big shots to stun him or be able to do enough to win rounds. But I think Holland's going to win because of he's better at 170 and he's got the reach advantage and has the ability, has power in his hands to keep Luque at bay, especially after what happened to Luque against Jeff Neal. I think decision or third round stop TKO, but that's just me. We'll move on from that fight to the next fight. Patchy Mix versus Mario Bautista. I'm a big Patchy Mix guy. I always liked Patchy Mix since his Bellator days. The Patchy Mix, man, is it's been one of the best prospects. Well, let me phrase that. One of the best fighters outside the UFC for a while now. And he's coming in making his debut against Mario Bautista, guys the fans do not like because of his performance against Jose Aldo, where he just hung against the fence. And the thing was, the thing that worried me about Patchy Mix is that he's saying this on short notice. Like he's only had like 2 weeks officially to get ready for Mario Bautista. And 3 weeks notice, but 2 weeks to train. And then this week he's just been cutting weights and doing media stuff. It's not exactly training. The guys don't have to train the week of the fight night, obviously. Their fight, obviously. It's just more so cutting weight, just, workouts and stuff. Not exactly, like throwing pads and stuff. Not exactly, training. If you know what I mean. Let's take a sip of apple juice here. But, that's the one that worries me is I don't know how much time he's going to have to prepare for Mario Bautista. It's like Mario Bautista is, he's like, normally I think someone finding Mario Bautista is not exactly a guy, Mario Bautista is the type of guy that maybe it's like, not exactly, I don't know, part of me thinks, having a short notice fight against Mario Bautista is not the best idea. It's going to be hard to beat someone like him, but the thing with Mario Bautista, and someone pointed this out, I forgot who, but Merab Dvalishvili was trained from Chio Vera prior to the Patchy Mix fight. And Chio Vera is a much different style of Patchy Mix. Chio Vera is a striker who sometimes throws low volume at times, not exactly a grappler, not a guy who has got background wrestling, grappling like Patchy Mix does, where it might be easier for Mario Bautista to hold him against the fence and to throw more output against him. Versus Patchy Mix, where Patchy Mix is, you can throw a lot of output, but the problem is Patchy Mix likes to move forward, and if Patchy Mix moves forward, you're in his world, and Patchy Mix has got good knees. He does have knockout power, and he's got that great submission game, and he's good in terms of being in the clinch. Like if Mario Bautista takes him to the clinch, Patchy Mix is proven he's strong enough to get out of the clinch, and he's able to stuff takedowns. He's great at stuffing takedowns. And he's good at getting out of them too. Unlike Aldo. Aldo at times is great at stopping takedowns, but he sometimes does not. It's not good at getting out of takedown positions or get guys off him like Patchy Mix is. And Patchy Mix got a dangerous submission game to where Bautista even able to take him down, he has to be careful because Patchy Mix can submit him or do work off his back. And then again, listening to Eric Nixick's podcast the other day, or yesterday rather, and Eric Nixick, those who don't know, is the head coach at Extreme Couture, which Patchy Mix does training. Is that Patchy Mix has been he's been training the whole time, and he's been helping other guys get ready for fights and stuff. So he's been active, so he's been preparing. Even though Patchy Mix hasn't fought in a while, it's not like he's taking time off. He's still training, still working, still improving, things like that. And also another thing with Patchy Mix is that Patchy Mix is only 31. He's in his prime. This is not, Patricio Pitbull 2 months ago. We came in old past the hill to UFC from Bellator, or even Michael Chandler, who was a little bit older. Still, I mean, still has some left in the tank, obviously, but a little bit older though. There's in like other guys who came in from other promotions who should have signed earlier. Patchy Mix is in his prime, and Patchy Mix has some great victories. You can make an argument that Patchy Mix victories are better than a lot of a lot of guys in the top 10, outside the top 5 resumes, like being Kyoji Horiguchi, who's been one of the best bantamweights and flyweights in the world. Who, if he had stayed in the UFC, would have been a 125 champion and would compete at 135 in the top 10. He beat Horiguchi, he beat Magomedov, and he beat Rafael Johnson at Bellator tournament in a row, and all 3 in a row. Looked very good, and looked and I know, the second Magomed fight was close, and some people thought he got robbed. Magomed, that is. Patchy won by a close decision. It was a close fight. I mean, it wasn't surprising the second fight was close because how good Magomed is, and also it was a rematch. So, but still, Patchy Mix had good moments in that fight. And Patchy Mix, I think, being in the UFC, being more motivated and want to improve himself. I think he's gonna go out there and beat and win the decision against Merab Bautista and really showcase his skills and really do a good job. I think Patchy Mix is a guy who I believe is one of the 10 and 5 best bantamweights in the world. I think he's going to show it here against Merab Bautista. And Merab Bautista, even though his last fight was boring, he has put on some entertaining fights prior to that. Rudy Simone fight was a good fight. Damon Blackshear was solid. I know some people thought Damon Blackshear probably should have won that fight, but Bautista had moments in that fight. So he has shown some good fights. It's just that he's a good fighter himself. I just don't know if it's even though I'm short notes for Patchy Mix, I do think the fact that Merab Bautista is preparing for a Cheeto Vera has to switch to Patchy Mix could hurt him, especially that quickly too. And plus, Patchy Mix trains at Extreme Couture. There's a lot of guys who could probably emulate Merab Bautista. So I think this favors Patchy Mix. So I got Patchy Mix winning by decision, or by second, third round submission. Decision or second, third round submission. As in that fight too, Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. Hang on, I think there's a truck nearby. Give me one moment. Sorry about that. Every time I try, it seems like, geez, something's always causing me pauses the video due to loud noises. Ugh. Anyway, Pyfer and Gastelum. Pyfer is, they're supposed to fight in Mexico a couple months ago, but Pyfer got sick and pulled out. He basically shit on the country of Mexico. Talked a lot of shit about it since, and a lot of people got upset, especially the Mexicans who, live in America, born and raised in America, but the parents are Mexican from Mexico. They left, they moved to America, but yeah, you mention anything, they get all bitchy and up their feelings and uptight, like just are the ones who attacked Joe Pyfer because of that. I'm just saying it's those people. It's like, come on, really? Stop. You live in America. Don't Mexico pride. Come on, stop it. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but it's those people who got upset Joe Pyfer for what he said. And Pyfer just keeps going, doesn't care. Pyfer just means what I guess, as what some people would say, stand on business, I guess. Well, maybe that's the wrong term, but he's not taking it back. He's doubling down, basically. But yeah, he's going against Kelvin Gastelum, who Gastelum's Mexican, but Mexican-American, I should add. And Pyfer he had a bounce-back victory after suffering his first defeat in the UFC against Jack Hermansson. Gastelum, I think his last fight was the Daniel Rodriguez victory, where he missed weight badly, and they moved it to 185 because he couldn't make 170, which I don't get with Gastelum. He's not that big of a person. He should be able to make 170. Yeah, he can't. It's like people made fun of him because of his weight and being fat and stuff. I mean, even play on it by doing a video, a YouTube thing about something about eating food while getting ready for a fight, something like that. It's like, Calvin's a good fighter, but his days might be his best days are probably behind him at this point. He's been in UFC for a long time. People forget that. At least 12 years he's been in UFC. He fought against Israel Adesanya for the interim middleweight title, one of the best fights of all time. lost that fight, and it's just been up and down since that since that loss to Israel. And I think Pyfer's gonna win because Joe Pyfer is first of all he's bigger than Kelvin, probably got a bigger reach, and I just think Calvin's best days are behind him. Now, and Joe Pyfer does hit hard, and Joe, Calvin Gastelum's got an iron chin because he's got because Mexicans do have great chins for the most part, especially, and it helps that Calvin also has a big head too, which does help as well. But this could be a fight where Calvin's chin finally gets cracked because Israel did drop him in that fight back. That was in 2019. And Calvin's been rocked before. He's been hit a lot in his fights, and so this might be the fight where his chin finally gets cracked, and it could happen, especially against someone like Joe Pyfer who hits very hard. He's got a lot to prove, and trains out a good gym in Philadelphia. And I think Joe Pyfer is going to, at this point, is a much better fight than Calvin Gastelum is. I just can't trust Calvin. Pyfer should win this fight. Although the one thing that worries me is that this fight does get in like the third round. Does Pyfer slow down? Because Pyfer throws a lot of shots. When he throws shots, they have a lot of intent, and he might start slowing down, like what happened against the Jack Hermanson fight. So if he slows down that third round, can I leave Calvin Gastelum catching him and hurt him badly and win that round and doing some damage? Possibly. But I think Pyfer should win this fight by decision. Like 29-28, I think. My camera. Sorry, my camera got. My camera. I just noticed my camera. Here we go. Sorry, I just noticed my camera the way it is. I gotta really mess around with it, but yeah, I'm picking Calvin Gastelum. Joe Pyfer to win this fight. This should not be a main card pay-per-view. This is stupid. I mean, why? I know Pyfer's from Philadelphia, but this is in New East Rutherford, New Jersey, closer to New York than it is Philadelphia. It's not South Jersey. And Pyfer is not that big of a name to where you can justify him being on the main card like that. If this card was in Philadelphia, okay, yeah, it makes sense. But it's in Newark, New Jersey, Northern Jersey. Southern Jersey is Philadelphia. Northern New Jersey is New York. In terms of the proximity of the cities New Jersey's in. I mean, it makes no sense to have this fight in the main card. And then from that fight to the next fight, Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena. Kayla Harrison should win this fight. She should beat Juliana Pena easily. I know you can say this fight does go into the lower rounds in my favorite Pena, but Pena is not that good. She's just not. I don't get Pena. Pena basically after it's like Pena in her career recently. She fights once a year, then fights till next year comes. Or take a long time off, wins a fight, or lose. Wins one, lose one. She got the title fight against Raquel Pennington coming off the Amanda Nunes loss, where she got destroyed in the rematch after upsetting Amanda Nunes. Nunes destroyed her badly in that rematch, just embarrassed her. And then she lost to Raquel Pennington. A lot of people thought Raquel got scrubbed by the judges in that fight. A lot of people thought that. And she actually went to Kayla Harrison, who's 18-1, who's stronger, has great judo background, obviously gold medal in judo, and it's just better. You look at, it's let's just be honest. Women's, I'd be shocked if Kayla lost this fight. I don't think Julia Pena has the submission game to deal with. Not even submission game. I think if Kayla Harrison takes her down, she just ground and pound her until the ref stops it. She doesn't have to go for submissions because Pena does have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or not black. I don't think, does she have a black belt? Something like that, black belt or something. She has a grappling background, Jiu-Jitsu background. But even then, all Kayla has to do is just mount her and just ground and pound her. She doesn't have to go for submissions. Just ground and pound her till the ref stops it. Now I know Kayla Harrison has some adversity against Kayla Vieira. And the same card as Raquel Pennington lost her belt to Juliana Pena. But Kelly Vieira, I think she would beat Juliana Pena, honestly. I think if they match each other, she would beat them. Because Juliana Pena has not fought anyone else in the top 10 of the women's bantamweight division outside of Raquel Pennington in the last couple of years, since 2021. So yeah, Kelly Harrison should beat her easily. Which ends from that fight to the main event. Merab Dvalishvili against Sugar Sean O'Malley. I'm going Merab. I just can't see Sugar being Merab. Merab is just a bad matchup for O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is. I know O'Malley had the surgery, had a hip injury, got surgery, and now he's feeling better. I know he's changed certain aspects of his life to try to focus on this fight. Now, could it work? Maybe, but I just don't see it with O'Malley. I just don't even a healthier Sean O'Malley would have problems with Merab because the thing with Merab is that if he just doesn't get tired, just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. His takedowns and it's just insane. Like he uses pace and cardio to break Umar and Magomedov down and just beat him in the last 3 rounds. It broke him. Umar has better takedown defense and is better grappling than O'Malley. And you saw what he did to Umar in January. And I just don't see O'Malley being able to do that. Even if O'Malley's been working on his takedown defense and ability to get up and and things like that, I just don't think it's enough to beat Merab. And Merab's got decent striking. Merab was able to land decent shots in the feet because he used the takedowns to success. Now I do think Merab will probably fight a little bit different in this fight, and so will O'Malley. And O'Malley does have the great counter striking, but I don't think Merab's going to leave himself open to counter like Aljamain Sterling did. And I think Merab is going to obviously protect his chin better than Aljamain did. And he's going to be able to just take O'Malley down and just wear him down and take him down, and ground and pound him and land some decent strikes. As Merab has the ability to land good strikes on people. And I think he's going to start doing that as the fight keeps going. After he establishes a takedown, after he gets O'Malley to worry about the takedowns, that's when he can start throwing strikes and stuff like that to O'Malley. I think Merab's going to win by decision again, like 50-40, not 50-45, 49-46 probably. O'Malley might win a round. Like I said, he could catch Merab and drop him. It's possible, but it's super unlikely. Super unlikely. As I'll be honest with you, this fight should not be happening. Nobody wants to see Merab and O'Malley rematch. They should have done Pyer and O'Malley and Merab, or done the Merab Pantoja fight, and let Pantoja go up in weight to fight for the second belt. As you let both divisions sort themselves out to get clear #1 contenders, then you could have done Pyer and O'Malley rematch. Then you could have got Manel Kai conference, that big fight finally. That we could have someone for Pantoja fight afterwards, but they didn't do that at UFC, which I don't know why. Just makes no sense to me why they didn't do that. But yeah, I just can't see Merab losing to O'Malley. I'll be shocked. It would be impressive for O'Malley to be a Merab, but I just don't see it. Just the takedown threat. This is the best fighter O'Malley's fought, and this is Merab. Merab already knows he can beat him. I just don't see how O'Malley can improve enough to where he can stop the force that's Merab Dvalishvili with his constant cardio pressure. Constant cardio. He doesn't get tired. It's just constant pressure, taking guys down. And normally that wears guys out, but Merab, just doesn't get tired. It just makes no damn sense. Like, some say he might be on EPO. It may be, but still, it's still impressive. He has that cardio and just keep going like this. Even other guys who are on EPO don't have that type of cardio, that conditioning. So it's really impressive. And we saw how good his takedown is. The fact he took Umar Nurmagomedov down. He took him down. The fact he took Umar down should let you know, man, O'Malley's going to... you think O'Malley's going to do better? Oh, really? Come on, people. Let's think about that. And like I say, he has good take. Like I say, he's developed decent striking and good kicking to where once he has O'Malley worry about that, he can his hands go and be able to land some shots on O'Malley. Not to really hurt him or anything, but still just land on O'Malley to really mix the martial arts as his MMA, obviously. I know some people are trying to pick, O'Malley. Oh, they're gonna. I see some people thinking, oh, O'Malley could do it. Oh, O'Malley has a great shot. O'Malley's gonna do this. I just don't think so. I think people are saying that because they want, I don't know, because maybe they just want to be able to say, hey, I picked the upset when no one else thought it. It's like, nah, I just don't see it. I just gotta keep it real. I think people are just picking O'Malley because they want to be able to say they got the upset when it's not the case, when it's probably not going to happen. I just don't think O'Malley's. I don't see how O'Malley's made enough improvements. Because remember, O'Malley's coming off hip surgery, and hasn't fought since the Merab loss. It's not like O'Malley's had a fight since then. It's looked real better than ever. Where it's like, okay, maybe this fight could be different. He hasn't. He had hip surgery after the September. We lost to Merab, did rehab, and then he's been trained in, and then now he's fighting Merab. I just don't see any way O'Malley beats Merab. I really don't. It'd be one if he brought in like Craig Jones or someone really great at like a great grappling coach that can make him improve on that. Where it's like, oh, maybe O'Malley has a shot, but that's not been the case with him. So, got no reason to pick O'Malley. I'm going Merab by decision, 49-46. As Merab continues his legacy as being probably the greatest bantamweight of all time, I think Merab can have a good performance against O'Malley, and he's going. And Merab wants to fight again this year, which I'm glad. I'm good. I'm glad we have champions being active. John Jones. Sorry, I had to throw John Jones slander out there, but had to. But yeah, Merab 49-46 decision. Kelly Harrison should finish Julia Pena in the first 2 rounds. Joe Pyfer wins decision 20-28. I got Patchy Mix by decision or second round submission, and I got Holland by decision. In the prelims, I got Joshua Van. I got Wado Costa. How am I forgetting his name? Fuck. Wado Cortez Acosta. Sometimes I always say the opposite. Acosta Cortez. No, Cortez Acosta. My bad, Waldo. Well, I thought he's watching this. I thought anyone really close to him is watching this video. Maybe they are. If they are, so who knows? Maybe if you win, I'd like to interview you. Just saying. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, listening. Enjoy. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think's gonna win? Why? Give this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And what fights look forward to the most and why. And I'll see you next time. Have a good night and stay safe out there. And yeah. Oh yeah, I just want to mention Mike Seinfeld's card. It's probably like a 7.5, 8. It's not a bad card. Some people think it's a terrible card or mediocre card. I don't agree with that. I think it's a solid card. I do think the main card could be better. Like you put the Spivak and Cortez Acosta fight on the main card. It's a much better main card. It actually all fights mean something. And that's what main pay-per-view main cards should be. Unless or fights that you know are going to be fun and exciting between guys who have exciting fight styles, or you know what I mean, if one fights in the future 2 ranked guys, or someone has a connection to the area. Like I said, Joe Pyfer does not. This is a Newark, New Jersey, not South Jersey, where you can make the excuse to Philly connection. But besides the point. Anyway, have a good day, good night. Like I said, see you next time. Peace. And yeah, I'll do a video, of course, reviewing the events after the event. Reviewing the event after the event take place. I don't know why I said events. Ugh. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.